Welcome, friends, to this sacred space of self-discovery. Today, we are not just exploring the surface of our current life experiences, but diving into the timeless nature of our souls, a journey that stretches across countless lifetimes. Buddhism teaches us that our existence is not confined to one life, but is an intricate web of past, present, and future, all interwoven by the thread of karma. The Buddha's teachings remind us of the Four Noble Truths: that suffering exists, that it has a cause, that it can end, and that there is a path leading to its cessation. The suffering we experience today may not just be from this life, it could be the karmic residue of choices made lifetimes ago. But the beauty of these teachings is that we are never bound by our past. We have the power in this very moment to shape our karma and rewrite our future. Let us also remember the Eightfold Path, a guide for ethical and mindful living. As we explore the karmic vibrations of the numbers associated with our birth year, we will see how elements of the Eightfold Path, right intention, right mindfulness, and right action, are essential tools in overcoming karmic obstacles and progressing on the path to enlightenment. Our birth year, and specifically the last digit of that year, carries within it profound spiritual symbolism. In the same way that the Buddha taught about interconnectedness, numerology reveals that every aspect of our lives is connected, even the numbers of our birth year. These numbers carry the echoes of past lives, lessons we must learn, and karmic debts we must repay. But this is not a journey of judgment, it is a journey of awakening. Just as the Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree and awakened to the truth of existence, today we awaken to the truth of our own karmic journey. Together, we will uncover the wisdom hidden within these numbers, and by doing so, we will discover the key to transforming our lives with intention, mindfulness, and compassion. The Buddhist perspective on karma, rebirth, and numerology. In Buddhism, karma is understood as the law of cause and effect. Every action we take, whether it is a thought, word, or deed, creates ripples that extend beyond this life and into future lives. These ripples shape the circumstances of our rebirth and determine the challenges, blessings, and opportunities we face in each new lifetime. This understanding is encapsulated in the concept of pratyasamutpada, or dependent origination, which teaches that nothing exists in isolation. Everything arises in dependence on causes and conditions. Let us reflect on a story from the Jataka Tales, a collection of stories about the previous lives of the Buddha. In one story, the Bodhisattva, in a past life, was a prince who sacrificed everything to save a group of starving tigers. This act of profound compassion created positive karma, which ripened in future lives, ultimately leading to the Buddha's enlightenment. This tale teaches us that our actions, whether big or small, are never insignificant. They accumulate, shaping not only our present, but also the course of our rebirths. In the same way, the last digit of your birth year symbolizes karmic energies that have been carried across lifetimes. It serves as a reminder of the choices we have made, the lessons we have learned, and the areas where growth is still needed. Through numerology, we can begin to understand how these karmic patterns influence our present life, and more importantly, how we can transform them. Karma in relationships, career, and health. Karma manifests in all aspects of our lives, our relationships, our careers, even our physical health. For example, someone born with the last digit of 1 may have been a leader in a past life, but their karma in this life may involve learning to lead with more compassion. They may find themselves in positions of authority but struggle with power dynamics, constantly faced with situations that challenge them to choose between ego-driven decisions and decisions that benefit the collective. Alternatively, someone with the last digit of 6, the number of the healer, may have spent past lives caring for others to the point of self-neglect. In this lifetime, they may struggle with health issues that remind them of the need to balance giving with receiving. Learning that self-care is not a luxury but a karmic necessity. By reflecting on the karmic patterns revealed through numerology, we gain insight into why we face certain challenges repeatedly in our lives. These are the lessons we have carried with us, waiting to be learned. Pause for reflection. Take a moment now to reflect on your life. Are there recurring patterns or challenges that seem to follow you no matter what you do? Perhaps you attract the same type of relationships, or you find yourself facing the same financial difficulties or health issues. These may be karmic patterns from your past lives, and by recognizing them, you can begin the process of transformation. The meaning of numbers in Buddhist numerology. Now let us journey deeper into the meaning of each number. As we explore the karmic vibrations of 0 through 9, keep in mind that these numbers do not define you. Rather, they provide insight into the karmic energies you are working with in this lifetime. Number 0, the infinite circle of rebirth. If your birth year ends in 0, you are connected to the energy of infinity and emptiness. In Buddhist teachings, 0 represents shunyata, the void from which all things arise and to which all things return. This emptiness is not a void in the negative sense, but rather the fertile ground of possibility from which all existence springs. In your past lives, you may have been deeply involved in spiritual practices, perhaps as a monk or a hermit, seeking the ultimate truth. You have spent many lifetimes contemplating the nature of existence, understanding that all things are impermanent and interconnected. However, the karmic challenge of the number 0 is learning to balance this profound spiritual insight with engagement in the world. In past lives, you may have retreated from the world, focusing solely on spiritual development. In this lifetime, you are being asked to integrate your spiritual wisdom with the practicalities of everyday life. Reflection. Take a moment to reflect on your relationship with the material world. Do you find yourself feeling disconnected from the physical aspects of life, such as relationships, work, or health? The lesson of the number 0 is not to abandon spirituality, but to find harmony between the spiritual and material realms. Guided visualization for 0. Close your eyes and imagine a vast, empty sky, stretching out endlessly in all directions. This sky represents the infinite potential within you. As you breathe in, feel the spaciousness of this sky filling your heart. As you exhale, feel any tension or attachment to material concerns dissolve into the emptiness. Know that within this emptiness lies the potential for anything and everything to arise. Number 1, the karma of leadership. If your birth year ends in 1, you carry with you the karmic energy of leadership, courage, and initiative. In past lives, you may have been a ruler, a warrior, or a leader of a community. You possess a natural ability to guide others, make decisions, and take action with confidence. However, with this leadership energy comes a karmic challenge, learning to lead with compassion rather than ego. In past lives, you may have used your power in ways that harmed others, either through controlling behavior or selfish decision-making. In this lifetime, you are being asked to balance your leadership skills with kindness and humility. Story of leadership from the Jataka tales. In one Jataka tale, the Bodhisattva was born as a king. In his early years, he ruled with an iron fist, believing that strength and control were the only ways to maintain order. However, through a series of karmic trials, he learned that true leadership comes from serving others with compassion. By the end of his life, he had transformed into a benevolent ruler, loved and respected by all. Number 1, the karma of leadership. As you reflect on the karmic energy of leadership tied to the number 1, remember that leadership, in its truest form, is not about exerting control or power over others, but about inspiring and guiding others with wisdom and compassion. Reflection. Think about the areas of your life where you are called to lead. This could be at work, in your family, or within your community. How do you approach your role as a leader? Do you feel the need to control situations, or do you allow space for others to grow and contribute? The karmic challenge of the number 1 is to lead with a balance of strength and empathy. Guided visualization for leadership. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Imagine yourself standing on a mountain peak with the world below you. You are the leader of this vast landscape, responsible for guiding those who live below. As you breathe in, feel the strength of the mountain beneath you, solid and unmoving. As you exhale, imagine sending compassion and understanding down into the valley below, touching the hearts of all who follow your leadership. Reflect on how you can lead with both firmness and kindness. Number 2, the peacemaker's path. If your birth year ends in 2, you have the karmic energy of a peacemaker, diplomat, or counselor. In your past lives, you may have been someone who was dedicated to bringing harmony and balance to difficult situations, resolving conflicts, and helping people see both sides of an issue. This peacemaking energy has followed you into your current life, where you may naturally gravitate toward roles that involve mediation, diplomacy, or conflict resolution. However, the karmic challenge of the number 2 is learning to balance your desire for peace with your own needs. In past lives, you may have sacrificed your own well-being to maintain peace, often giving more of yourself than was healthy. In this lifetime, you are called to learn the lesson of self-assertion, that creating harmony does not mean neglecting your own boundaries or desires. Story of the Peacemaker from the Jataka Tales. In one of the Jataka tales, the Bodhisattva was born as a mediator between 2 warring kingdoms. His wisdom and calm demeanor allowed him to negotiate peace between the 2 sides. However, in his personal life, he often neglected his own needs, giving too much of himself to maintain peace. Through this life, he learned the importance of balancing the needs of others with self-care. Reflection. Think about the relationships in your life where you often play the role of peacemaker. Do you find yourself sacrificing your own needs for the sake of maintaining harmony? The lesson of the number 2 is to find balance, to create peace not only for others but also within yourself. Guided visualization for balance. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Imagine yourself standing in a peaceful garden where 2 rivers meet. One river represents the needs of others, flowing gently and quietly. The other river represents your own needs, strong and vibrant. As the 2 rivers meet, they form a perfect balance, flowing together in harmony. As you breathe, feel the balance within yourself. Reflect on how you can create peace in your relationships while honoring your own needs and boundaries. Number 3, the gift of expression. If the last digit of your birth year is 3, you are connected to the karmic energy of communication, creativity, and expression. In past lives, you may have been a poet, artist, or storyteller, someone who used words and artistic expression to connect with others and share important messages. This creative energy has carried over into your current life, where you may find yourself naturally drawn to writing, speaking, or other forms of artistic expression. However, the karmic challenge of the number 3 is learning to express yourself authentically and responsibly. In past lives, you may have struggled with self-expression, either by holding back your truth out of fear of judgment, or by using your gift of communication in manipulative or irresponsible ways. In this lifetime, you are called to embrace your voice fully, but to do so with integrity and mindfulness. Story of the Communicator from the Jataka Tales. In a past life, the Bodhisattva was born as a gifted speaker, known for his ability to inspire others through his words. However, in his younger years, he used his gift for personal gain, manipulating others to achieve his desires. Through his experiences, he learned the power of words and how they can be used to heal or harm. By the end of his life, he had transformed into a wise and compassionate teacher, using his words to uplift and enlighten others. Reflection. Think about how you use your voice and creative expression in your life. Do you speak your truth openly, or do you hold back out of fear of being judged? Or perhaps you find yourself struggling with the responsibility that comes with having a powerful voice. The lesson of the number 3 is to use your gift of expression in a way that is authentic, kind, and transformative. Guided visualization for authentic expression. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing in a beautiful open field. As you breathe in, feel the energy of creativity and expression flowing through your body, filling you with light. As you exhale, imagine that light radiating outward, touching those around you with warmth and inspiration. As you breathe, feel yourself speaking or creating from a place of deep authenticity without fear or hesitation. Reflect on how you can use your creative gifts to inspire, heal, and transform others. Number 4. The builder of foundations. If the last digit of your birth year is 4, you are connected to the karmic energy of structure, stability, and responsibility. In past lives, you may have been a builder, architect, or leader, someone responsible for creating solid foundations, whether in physical structures or in communities. This energy of discipline and practicality has followed you into this lifetime, where you may feel a strong desire to create a stable and secure life. However, the karmic challenge of the number 4 is learning to let go of control. In past lives, you may have experienced periods of instability or chaos, which led to a strong desire for control in your current life. You may find yourself resistant to change or overly focused on maintaining order and security, sometimes at the expense of flexibility and openness. Story of the builder from the Jataka tales. In a past life, the Bodhisattva was born as a village leader who was responsible for building the community's infrastructure. He worked tirelessly to ensure that the village was safe, secure, and well organized. However, he struggled with letting go of control, becoming overly rigid in his thinking and actions. It wasn't until he learned to trust others and allow for change that he found true peace and success in his endeavors. Reflection. Think about your relationship with control and stability. Do you find yourself resistant to change, or do you struggle with letting go of control in certain areas of your life? The lesson of the number 4 is to build with purpose, but also to trust in the natural flow of life. By releasing the need for rigid control, you open yourself to greater possibilities and growth. Guided visualization for letting go of control. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Imagine yourself standing in front of a strong, solid structure that you have built. This structure represents the stability and security you have created in your life. As you breathe in, feel the strength of this structure supporting you. As you exhale, imagine a gentle breeze flowing through, bringing with it the energy of change and transformation. Reflect on how you can embrace flexibility and trust in the flow of life while still maintaining a strong foundation. Number 5. The freedom seeker. If the last digit of your birth year is 5, you are connected to the karmic energy of freedom, change, and adventure. In your past lives, you may have been an explorer, traveler, or pioneer, always seeking new experiences and knowledge. This restless energy has followed you into your current life, where you may feel a strong desire for variety and novelty, constantly seeking new challenges and adventures. However, the karmic challenge of the number 5 is learning to find inner freedom regardless of external circumstances. In past lives, you may have experienced restrictions or limitations that made you feel trapped. And in this lifetime, you may find yourself constantly seeking external freedom as a way to avoid those feelings. But true freedom comes from within, from cultivating a mind and heart that are free from attachment, fear, and desire. Story of the explorer from the Jataka tales. In one life, the Bodhisattva was born as a nomad, traveling from place to place in search of new lands and experiences. While his adventures brought him excitement and knowledge, he eventually realized that no amount of external freedom could bring him the inner peace he sought. It was only when he turned inward and explored the landscape of his own heart that he found true freedom. Reflection. Think about your relationship with freedom. Are you constantly seeking new experiences, or do you find yourself restless in your current situation? The lesson of the number 5 is to recognize that true freedom comes from within, from a mind that is free from attachment and a heart that is open to all experiences, without clinging or fear. Guided visualization for inner freedom. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing on the edge of a vast, open landscape, with endless possibilities stretching out before you. As you breathe in, feel the excitement of adventure and the thrill of new experiences. As you exhale, imagine releasing any attachment to specific outcomes or desires. Reflect on how you can cultivate inner freedom, allowing yourself to flow with the changes of life without fear or resistance. Number 6, the healer and caregiver. If the last digit of your birth year is 6, you carry with you the karmic energy of love, care, and healing. In your past lives, you may have been a healer, caregiver, or protector, someone who was deeply committed to the well-being of others. This nurturing energy has followed you into your current life, where you may find yourself naturally drawn to roles that involve caring for others, whether in your family, community, or professional life. However, the karmic challenge of the number 6 is learning to balance giving with receiving. In past lives, you may have sacrificed your own well-being in order to care for others, often neglecting your own needs. In this lifetime, you are called to learn the lesson of self-love, that in order to care for others effectively, you must also care for yourself. Story of the healer from the Jataka tales. In a past life, the Bodhisattva was born as a village healer, known for his ability to cure the sick and tend to the wounded. He was deeply loved and respected by his community, but he often neglected his own health in the process of caring for others. It wasn't until he became ill himself that he realized the importance of balancing care for others with care for oneself. By learning this lesson, he was able to continue his healing work with even greater compassion and effectiveness. Reflection. Think about your relationship with caregiving and healing. Do you find yourself giving too much of yourself to others, often at the expense of your own well-being? The lesson of the number 6 is to recognize that self-care is not selfish. It is essential. By taking care of yourself, you are better able to care for others in a healthy and sustainable way. Guided visualization for self-love and balance. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing in a beautiful, peaceful garden. This garden represents the love and care you give to others. As you walk through the garden, notice how lush and vibrant it is, filled with flowers and plants that you have nurtured with your love. Now find a quiet corner of the garden where a small, beautiful flower represents you. As you breathe in, imagine sending love and care to this flower, nurturing it with the same compassion you offer to others. Reflect on how you can create balance in your life by nurturing yourself alongside those you care for. Number 7, the spiritual seeker. If the last digit of your birth year is 7, you are connected to the karmic energy of spiritual wisdom, introspection, and healing. In your past lives, you may have been a monk, a sage, or a solitary healer who spent a great deal of time in quiet contemplation, seeking the deeper truths of existence. This energy has followed you into your current life, where you may find yourself naturally drawn to spiritual practices, meditation, and self-reflection. The karmic challenge of the number 7, however, lies in the tendency to become isolated or detached from the world. In your past lives, you may have spent so much time focusing on your inner journey that you neglected your relationships with others. In this lifetime, you are called to learn the lesson of balance, finding a way to pursue your spiritual quest while also staying connected to the people and world around you. Story of the solitary sage from the Jataka tales. In one of the Jataka tales, the Bodhisattva was born as a sage who lived high in the mountains, far away from society. He spent many years in deep meditation, uncovering the mysteries of the universe. However, over time, he began to feel a deep sense of loneliness and disconnection from others. It wasn't until he descended from the mountains and began sharing his wisdom with the villagers that he found true peace. Through this experience, he learned that spiritual growth is not only about solitude, but also about connection and sharing. Reflection. Think about your own spiritual journey. Do you find yourself drawn to solitude, or do you feel disconnected from the people in your life? The lesson of the number 7 is to balance your inner spiritual work with meaningful connections to others. Remember, the Buddha himself shared his teachings with the world after achieving enlightenment. True wisdom is meant to be shared. Guided visualization for connection and solitude. Close your eyes and imagine yourself sitting at the top of a mountain, surrounded by the vastness of the sky and the silence of the earth. This mountain represents your spiritual journey, your quest for inner truth. As you breathe in, feel the peace and stillness of this space. As you exhale, imagine yourself walking down the mountain, returning to the village below. The people of the village greet you with warmth and gratitude, eager to hear the wisdom you have gained. Reflect on how you can balance your spiritual journey with your connections to others, sharing your insights while remaining true to your inner path. Number 8. The Manifester of Abundance. If the last digit of your birth year is 8, you are connected to the karmic energy of abundance, power, and success. In your past lives, you may have been a leader, a business person, or someone who was able to manifest great wealth and influence. This energy of abundance has followed you into your current life, where you may feel a strong drive to achieve material success, financial security, and recognition for your accomplishments. However, the karmic challenge of the number 8 is learning to balance material success with spiritual wisdom. In past lives, you may have become too focused on accumulating wealth or power, forgetting the deeper purpose of your journey. In this lifetime, you are called to use your gifts of manifestation and ambition for the greater good, to align your material success with your spiritual values and to share your abundance with others. Story of the Wealthy Merchant from the Jataka Tales. In a past life, the Bodhisattva was born as a wealthy merchant who accumulated great riches through his business ventures. While he enjoyed his wealth, he eventually realized that his possessions did not bring him the peace or fulfillment he sought. It wasn't until he began using his wealth to help others, building schools and providing food for the poor, that he found true happiness. By aligning his material success with his spiritual values, he was able to create a lasting legacy of good. Reflection. Think about your relationship with success and abundance. Are you focused on material wealth, or do you use your resources to help others? The lesson of the number 8 is to recognize that true abundance is not just about accumulating wealth, but about using your power and success to uplift others and create positive change. Guided visualization for abundance and purpose. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing in a vast field of golden wheat, stretching out as far as the eye can see. This field represents the abundance in your life, the wealth, success, and resources you have accumulated. As you breathe in, feel the gratitude for this abundance. As you exhale, imagine sharing this abundance with others, using it to create a world of generosity and kindness. Reflect on how you can align your material success with your spiritual values, creating a legacy that benefits not only yourself, but all beings. Number 9. The Humanitarian and Spiritual Leader. If the last digit of your birth year is 9, you are connected to the karmic energy of compassion, service, and spiritual leadership. In your past lives, you may have been a healer, teacher, or spiritual guide, someone who was deeply committed to the well-being of others. This energy of service and altruism has followed you into your current life, where you may feel a strong desire to help others, contribute to humanitarian causes, and make a positive impact on the world. However, the karmic challenge of the number 9 is learning to balance service with self-care. In past lives, you may have sacrificed your own needs for the sake of helping others, often to the point of burnout. In this lifetime, you are called to learn the lesson of self-compassion. That in order to serve others effectively, you must also nurture yourself. Story of the Compassionate Leader from the Jataka Tales. In a past life, the Bodhisattva was born as a spiritual leader who dedicated his life to helping others. He spent years healing the sick, teaching the Dharma, and guiding those in need. However, he often neglected his own health and well-being, pushing himself to the point of exhaustion. It wasn't until he fell ill that he realized the importance of caring for himself in order to continue his work. By learning to balance service with self-care, he was able to serve others more effectively and with greater compassion. Reflection. Think about your relationship with service and self-care. Do you find yourself giving too much of yourself to others, often neglecting your own needs? The lesson of the number 9 is to recognize that self-care is essential for effective service. By nurturing yourself, you are better able to care for others and make a lasting impact. Guided visualization for compassion and self-care. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing in a circle of light, surrounded by the people you have helped and cared for in your life. This light represents the compassion and love you have shared with others. As you breathe in, feel the warmth of this light filling your heart, nurturing and healing you. As you exhale, imagine sending that same light out into the world, touching the hearts of others. Reflect on how you can balance your desire to serve with your need for self-care, allowing yourself to give from a place of abundance and compassion. Embracing the karmic journey to enlightenment. As we draw this exploration to a close, we are reminded that our life's path is not random or isolated, but deeply intertwined with the karmic energies that have been carried through lifetimes. We are not just products of the choices we make in this lifetime, but also of those we have made in countless past incarnations. This realization invites us to approach our lives with greater mindfulness and intentionality, understanding that each moment presents an opportunity to heal, grow, and transcend the patterns that may have shaped us. At the core of our exploration is the ancient Buddhist teaching of karma, a concept that reminds us of the eternal cycle of cause and effect. Every action we take, whether through thought, word, or deed, creates a ripple in the fabric of existence, a ripple that extends beyond this life and shapes our future rebirths. This understanding helps us see that the circumstances of our current life are not arbitrary, but are the results of past actions. But equally important, it teaches us that we are not victims of fate. Through the wisdom of the Buddha, we learn that we possess the power to transform our karma and liberate ourselves from the cycles of suffering. In the Four Noble Truths, the Buddha revealed the nature of suffering, its origins, and the path to its cessation. He taught us that suffering, or dukkha, is an inherent part of existence, but it is not inevitable or permanent. The suffering we experience is often the result of our attachment to desires, to our ego, and to the illusions we create about the world around us. By understanding the cause of suffering, we can begin to unravel the threads of karma that have bound us and embark on a journey of self-liberation. The Eightfold Path, which serves as the Buddha's guide to ethical and mindful living, offers us the tools we need to reshape our karmic patterns. It reminds us that the choices we make in the present moment are not only critical to our personal evolution, but are also pivotal in determining the quality of our rebirth. By cultivating right intention, right speech, right action, and right mindfulness, we can align our lives with the principles of compassion, wisdom, and kindness. This path is not a destination but a process, a lifelong commitment to self-awareness, ethical living, and the pursuit of enlightenment. The power of numerology in understanding karma. The last digit of our birth year carries profound spiritual symbolism, in the same way that the Buddha taught about the interconnectedness of all things. Numerology reveals that every aspect of our lives, including the numbers of our birth year, is interwoven with the energies of past, present, and future. These numbers provide us with insight into the karmic lessons we must learn in this lifetime, the gifts we carry from previous lives, and the areas where growth is still needed. For example, those born under the number 1 are often called to leadership roles, carrying with them the karmic energy of initiative and courage. Yet their journey may involve learning to lead with compassion rather than ego, a lesson that challenges them to balance strength with humility. In contrast, those born under the number 6 carry the karmic energy of caregiving and healing. But their challenge is to learn how to balance giving with receiving, recognizing that self-care is just as important as caring for others. Each number offers a unique karmic challenge and gift, serving as a guidepost for understanding the recurring patterns in our lives. Whether it's the energy of creativity and expression associated with 3, or the quest for spiritual wisdom and introspection carried by 7, these numbers help us uncover the deeper purpose of our existence. By reflecting on the karmic vibrations of these numbers, we can gain insight into why we face certain challenges, why we are drawn to specific roles or experiences, and how we can transform our lives by embracing these lessons with intention and mindfulness. Integrating karma into everyday life. While the study of karma, rebirth, and numerology provides us with profound spiritual insights, it is important to remember that the true value of these teachings lies in their practical application. Spiritual knowledge without action is incomplete. The Buddha did not teach simply to enlighten minds, but to transform hearts and lives. To walk the path of liberation, we must not only understand our karma, but also actively work to change it. This begins with awareness. Are there patterns in your life that seem to repeat themselves, regardless of how much effort you put into changing them? Do you find yourself attracting similar relationships, facing the same health challenges, or struggling with financial difficulties no matter what you do? These recurring patterns may be karmic in nature, the echoes of past actions carried over from previous lifetimes. But the beauty of karma is that it is not set in stone. We have the power, in each moment, to make different choices, to break the cycle of suffering, and to create a new reality for ourselves. To transform our karma, we must practice mindfulness in all aspects of our lives. The Buddha's teachings on mindfulness invite us to bring full awareness to our thoughts, words, and actions. When we are mindful, we are no longer reacting unconsciously to the world around us. Instead, we are making intentional choices that align with our highest values. Mindfulness helps us break free from the habits and conditioning of the past, allowing us to create new karmic imprints that are rooted in compassion, wisdom, and love. Another key aspect of transforming karma is compassion, both for ourselves and for others. Often we are harshest on ourselves, judging our past actions, our perceived failures, and our shortcomings with unforgiving scrutiny. But the path to enlightenment is not one of judgment, it is one of love. We must learn to forgive ourselves for the mistakes we have made, understanding that those mistakes were part of our karmic journey. Each misstep is an opportunity to learn and grow. By cultivating self-compassion, we open our hearts to healing and create the conditions for true transformation. Compassion for others is equally important. Just as we are shaped by our past karma, so too are the people around us. When we encounter difficult individuals or challenging relationships, it is helpful to remember that they are also on their own karmic journey. Their actions and behaviors may be the result of unresolved karma from past lives. By responding to them with compassion rather than judgment or anger, we help to break the cycle of negative karma and create a space for healing and reconciliation. Spiritual growth and the path to enlightenment. Ultimately, the goal of understanding karma and numerology is not simply to improve our current life, but to advance on the path to enlightenment. The Buddha taught that enlightenment, awakening to the true nature of reality, is the ultimate liberation from the cycle of samsara, the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. This liberation is not achieved through external means, but through the cultivation of inner wisdom and the dissolution of the ego. The karmic lessons we encounter in this lifetime are designed to help us shed the layers of ego that keep us bound to suffering. When we face challenges in our lives, whether in our relationships, careers, health, or spiritual practice, those challenges are opportunities for us to let go of attachment, desire, and fear. Each time we respond to a challenge with mindfulness, compassion, and right action, we move one step closer to liberation. Spiritual growth is not a linear process. There will be times when we feel as though we are making great strides on the path, and other times when we may feel stuck or even regressing. This is natural. The path to enlightenment is a lifelong journey, and it requires patience, perseverance, and a deep commitment to self-awareness. What matters most is not how quickly we progress, but the intention with which we approach our journey. By staying true to the principles of the Eightfold Path and remaining mindful of our karmic patterns, we can trust that we are moving toward greater wisdom, peace, and freedom. As we conclude this exploration of karma, numerology, and spiritual growth, let us remember that the wisdom we have uncovered is not meant to be stored away as intellectual knowledge. It is a living, breathing guide to transforming our lives. The teachings of the Buddha and the insights of numerology invite us to step into a more intentional, mindful, and compassionate way of being. We are each responsible for our own karmic journey. No one else can walk this path for us, and no one else can change our karma. But the beauty of this truth is that it empowers us. We have the ability to create our own destiny, to shape our future by the choices we make today. Each moment is an opportunity to choose love over fear, compassion over judgment, and mindfulness over unconscious reaction. Living with intention means approaching each day with a sense of purpose and awareness. It means asking ourselves, what kind of karma am I creating right now? How can I align my thoughts, words, and actions with my highest values? By setting this intention, we bring mindfulness into every aspect of our lives, whether we are interacting with others, making decisions, or simply moving through our day. Compassion is at the heart of the Buddha's teachings. In a world that often seems divided by conflict, suffering, and misunderstanding, the practice of compassion is more important than ever. When we choose to see others not as enemies or obstacles, but as fellow beings on their own karmic journey, we open the door to healing and unity. Compassion allows us to transcend our ego-driven desires and to act from a place of love and kindness. Finally, mindfulness is the key to unlocking the power of karma. When we are mindful, we become aware of the patterns that have shaped our lives, and we gain the clarity needed to make conscious choices. Mindfulness helps us break free from the cycles of suffering that may have followed us from past lives, and it allows us to create a new karmic path, one that leads to peace, joy, and enlightenment.